Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
How you doing?
Good. So I flew out again this weekend.
Yeah.
And I will say that the airport experience was a little bit nicer. You know, they seem to have understood like when to appropriately have signs that like lines are open.
Had open gates and stuff.
Which was nice. But I will tell you, on my flight back, so again, Southwest, to re-describe to everybody the way that their boarding works. You know, you get an A, B, or C boarding based on when you check in, and it's, you know, seats 1 through 30 or 1 through 60 on each letter, and you board and get to, it's open seating. You get to like seat in whatever order that you actually got on the plane in based on your boarding pass number. And they usually line you up like A1 through 30 first, and then 31 through 60, and then the B's and then the C's, you know, etc. Granted, in between the A's and the B's, they do some like the, you know, family boarding and things like that. So on the way there, I got like a 24 or something like that. And there was only, I think, about 25 or 30 people on the flight. But A1 through 15 are reserved for their priority people.
Mm-hmm.
And then a 15 and up is when it starts like the normal people. And they even announce that if you're boarding A1 through 15, or you're pre-boarding for some other reason, like you're in a wheelchair or whatever and you need assistance, that you are absolutely not allowed to sit in the exit row.
Okay.
So on the way there, I was like A24 or whatever. So I was really short, which was great, and knew I was basically going to get, you know, a good exit row seat, which I did. I got the one that doesn't even have the seat in front of you again, so it was fantastic. And like everybody was like, you know, peaceful, and nobody was cared like really when people boarded. It was very like just you go ahead of me, no big deal. Like I'll go first. You know, people just didn't like give a fuck basically.
Right.
On the way back, I was A18. So the lowest I've ever been, because, you know, the lowest you can be is 15, or 16, because it's 1 through 15, it's a priority. So 16, 17, I was like the third person basically to check in, you know, online.
Uh-huh.
They stopped doing normal boarding, and like last time I went, and it was just kind of like a free for all, which was weird. This time they were a lot more like Southwest has come out and said that they're only going to do boarding in 10 groups at a time instead of all like 30 or 60 people. They're just doing it in tens. So first they announced A1 through 10, and there was only like 2 people up in the priority boarding area. And then they jumped straight to A15 through 25, because if you didn't have 1 through 10, if you ran out of that, nobody's 10 through 15. And so me as A18, I was like, sweet, I'm going to like get right on up here at this 15 through 25. I shit you not, like 10 people jumped up in front of me and went up to the front and checked in and walked on the plane. And I'm like, for one, where the fuck did, like, there's more than 10 people boarding right now. Right. For another thing, like, you're supposed to be in number order, and nobody seems to care. What I've always found is that if you're like a 30, you try to get anywhere in the A20 through 30 stanchions that are up there with the numbers on them, that people just try to jump in there. But hell, if you're A1, you better believe that you're gonna be like looking back at people and being like, oh no, I'm ahead of you. Nope, I'm ahead of you. You know, type of deal.
Uh-huh.
Like people feel that. I found that very strange. That not only did people just not care and they just went up there anyway, but the people at the gate didn't seem to do anything about it either.
I find that to be the case always. I know that this is a different time, and so maybe things should be handled differently, but I that's been my experience with the airlines from day one, is that no one gives a fuck about this system. Like, I know Delta tried to combat it at one point, and I've only seen this in Atlanta, which is their hub, so I don't know if it ever made it anywhere else in the world. But there was a point where you know, Delta had made these little kiosks, like, this is a line that only is for first class, this is for zone 1, this is for, and there was separate lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, Delta doesn't seat like Southwest anyways, with the whole numbered seating. But still, like, they tried to do that, but that I don't think that's stuck, because I haven't seen it anywhere outside of Atlanta. So I don't know. I feel like that whole system is just broken and will never be fixed, though. Like, people just don't give a shit, and like, everyone knows that they're doing it. Like, no one's accidentally getting in line, you know, when they're not supposed to. They know they're doing it.
Well, and then it was like, what was even more annoying is one of the guys who ran up into A1 through 15 I boarded the plane. I watched him run straight up to the front and like run straight on the plane, essentially, like before anybody else. And as I boarded the plane, I still got an exit row seat, so I can't complain that much. It's not about where I ended up sitting, but it was just like weird that they just didn't seem to care. He was sitting in the exit row seat that didn't have the seat in front of it when I got on the plane.
Which is where like, they were told not to sit.
I was told exclusively not to sit. And right when I started getting on is when they made the announcement over the thing that, okay, we're now in general boarding. So it's not like the flight attendant crew was unaware that they were like what was happening. I just find it so weird that they just like don't care.
I don't.
I mean, but that's their job.
Yeah.
It's one of the aspects of their job, I should say. Clearly, it's not their only job.
Well, I mean, right now it sounds like it is their only job based on what you told me the other day. They're not doing any drink service or anything like that. So,
yep, still no drink service. They made it very clear when you got on the plane this time that like there is no drink service. Like you can't even. And this time they even made it clear that before you got on the plane that they would not be serving any types of drinks, no matter what. If you want water, go get it now. Before you get on the plane.
Right. I don't have a problem with this. I think that's probably how it should be right now.
Yeah, it's just that was less. It was less known to me until I flew, though.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have expected that as much because, like, but I guess you have to take your mask off to drink, right?
Yeah, the TSA both ways made me take my mask off to check my face.
What?
Yep. And check the ID against the face.
Huh.
Yeah, that I was a little bit surprised at.
What happens if you refuse? You just don't get to fly?
I guess. I didn't feel like testing that water. I mean, you're far enough away from them, and I was the only one like in the TSA line.
No, I understand. It's just like, I don't know. It just seems, dumb.
It does seem interesting given the concept, because can you imagine at a grocery store if you were checking out with like alcohol and the cashier was like, take off your mask so I can check you against your ID? People would flip the fuck out.
Well, yeah,
but that's another time when you're supposed to card and you as a cashier have a responsibility to not sell to underage people, right?
I feel like all that shit's kind of going out the window too. Like they were just debating in North Carolina allowing bars to be able to sell open container basically during all of this. Like I don't know what the final decision was. It was voted on last week, but restaurants were basically saying like, 90% of our, or not 90%, a large percentage of our sales came from alcohol. We can no longer sell alcohol. So yeah, we're doing a lot of business and we're doing a lot of curbside pickup, but we're not coming anywhere near meeting our margins because we're no longer able to sell these marked up alcohol costs. And so North Carolina was like, all right, well, we'll fix it. You can just sell fucking drinks curbside.
Well, I heard for Cinco de Mayo, a lot of restaurants were doing to-go alcohol.
Yeah, it's just like I can understand it if it's a closed container. Like I've made you a bottle of margaritas. Go home and pour them yourself. That I get.
Making a bottle of margaritas does not constitute a closed container.
If the bottle is closed and sealed, it does. That's what a lot of places
started doing. How do you seal a bottle?
You put like a protective seal over top of it.
At the restaurant? What protective seal are they putting over a bottle?
Basically a label.
Clean Towels Tuesday.
I mean, the ones I saw like early on in all of this, a lot was like in New York City and stuff that were doing this, like come and get a bottle of margaritas and we have toilet paper too, basically. It was there were bottles that they basically put like a sticker around the seal of the bottle.
Everybody I talked to that got margaritas, they said that it came with like their margarita mix and like a fifth of something. Like the alcohol was separate and like a closed steel bottle from the factory.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm sure places did stuff like that too, and then just marked it up. But there was one that went like viral early on that I saw that was basically, like I said, just doing like a sticker. And that's legal, like from what I understand, at least by North Carolina law, as long as it's sealed in some way, it's considered that's fine.
I mean, it's kind of funny though, because let's say it was Uber Eats delivered. You could be swinging out of that thing and just have any like smiley face stickers in your car, pop it on there and be like, that's the sticker they said sealed it. You don't know the difference.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I thought the whole idea was a stupid idea anyways, but what do I know? I'm not, out of business right now. I'm sure that sucks not being able to sell, especially for bars. Like, that's your whole thing. You're basically just closed now for.
Well, especially if you're still getting charged. Like I'll be surprised if a lot of these places in DC that change management all the time because they're overly inflated rent prices that they pay for these little fucking pop-ups over on H Street. I'll be surprised if all of them come back.
Oh yeah, I'm sure tons of places shut their doors for the last time at the start of all this, around here as well, because just what you're already like restaurants are already one of the hardest damn businesses to maintain. So good luck just being shut for 3 months or whatever.
Yeah,
but now that it's over, they're reopening now, I guess.
Yeah, I mean everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, is that phantoms I saw flying around by you?
Could be. Oh no, it shouldn't be. I was just in bed.
I was not in bed. Let me just open it up, flying around toward me. I'm back with villager number 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were doing that. It's funny because I'm looking for iron right now to finish the stupid farm or sorting system.
How much more do you need?
I don't actually know. Quite a bit because it's all to make hoppers. I've used every bit of iron we have.
Well, once I get the 3rd villager, I in theory have the hard parts out about oh god, don't die. Don't die, my friend. Got him like stuck in. There we go. So I had him stuck in the glass on top of the place that I'm storing him at. I think he stole my boat.
He stole your boat?
Oh, there it is. I got it back. Yeah, it like disappeared and then it wasn't in my inventory and I couldn't find it anywhere on the ground. I think it just took a minute for it to register in my inventory. These 2 guys look the same. You were asking what they were.
I wasn't.
I don't know. Last episode you did.
Oh, did I?
You said, what kind of villagers are they? And I said, they're the people.
I don't remember that. But that was a week ago, so lots happened.
I mean, are you excited things are opening back up? Are you going to be?
Nothing's changing for me. I'm not leaving my house. Actually, no, I'm more terrified about it because, like I told you a minute ago before the thing started, I got a text saying, hey, your daughter's friends having a birthday party next weekend. You gonna come? She did say, and this is someone that my daughter talks to regularly. Like, I know her mom and stuff. So, like, it's actually my daughter's best friend. And she did say it's going to be a super small gathering, but I totally understand if you wouldn't feel comfortable coming. So there was at least some logic behind it, or some, she was at least rational about it.
When she said super small, only 35 people.
Yeah. I mean, but she did say, now that things are reopening, that was part of the message. But my response was, my daughter's not here next weekend. She's with her mother. So I will forward your message on. And I texted Crystal and I was like, I know it's not up to me because it's not my weekend, but I would tell her no, but I would swing by and drop off a gift. But that's as far as I would go if it was up to me. So I don't know what Crystal's going to decide to do. Like, I would love for my daughter to go to her best friend's birthday party, obviously. But I haven't even told my daughter about it because I don't want her to get her hopes up or anything. Because who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I think it's too soon to be around a bunch of kids. Even if it's only like 6 kids, if one of them is sick, then they're all sick at the end of it.
I mean, it's the future of chicken box parties.
Oh Lord, God! I remember whenever this first started, then you'd see those posts that people would post on Reddit from Facebook or whatever, where anyone doing COVID parties. So this is actually a thing.
And it's funny because we used to actually make that joke. We had a big, the relatively big party right when COVID kind of started to be a thing, but long before there was any thoughts of anybody going on like stay-at-home orders or anything like that. And we were joking around at the party of, oh, well, if they shut us down and do all stay at home, we'll just all stay at home together and have parties all the time, because it was a big joke.
Yeah.
And then it turned into what it turned into, and now I feel bad about it. Because, at that time there was, the first like 5 cases in America or whatever.
Right. You kind of assumed the same thing that we saw with SARS was going to happen, where we knew
it
was
just
going
to fizzle out and die, and
not
kill 200 and some odd thousand people across the world thus far, and counting.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we beat it.
Yeah, because it's definitely done. Like I said, it's like war. It laid down the flag. It surrendered. Trump, supreme master. He has done it. He has saved us all.
I do wonder what the next wave is going to be like, though.
Wave of what?
New disease. We'll call it COVID-20 because it's
We'll
a new
call
year.
it. It'll start in January, and we can blame it on the Dems.
Yeah.
Damn Dems when they win.
What's this? What's Obamagate?
I don't know exactly what you're referring to.
Um,
There's a lot of things coming out. I know there's a lot of weird things coming out now where people are like determined that Obama committed treason for a bunch of stuff.
really?
Yeah, and I was reading a Reddit. It was a Reddit post. It was clearly like in a political discussion, Reddit post, which you got to take with a grain of salt. But there was very overwhelming support for the fact that with all the new information that he did, officially commit treason. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was actually based on, and even if like it was Democrats and Republicans. It wasn't like it was very one-sided, but it was still like multiple parties speaking still. I guess whatever had come out, and I'm assuming this is what Obama is going to be referring to in the current saga is whatever that is. I'm assuming.
So my understanding is that Obama spoke out about the response that Trump has given to coronavirus recently.
Sure.
And
and the fact that he was the first president to ever speak out against his predecessor or his successor.
Right. And so Mitch McConnell, like McGonagall from Harry Potter.
McConnell.
That sounds pretty good. Mitch McConnell basically said he needs to shut his mouth, which is pretty rich. Called it classless, which is again pretty rich. But I do know that Trump keeps saying during.
Are you by a bed by chance?
I am not. I'm deep in a cave looking for iron.
It's just raining and dark out, and I was trying to pass the time.
Well, time passes.
I mean, it does. It's just more slowly when you're bored and quarantined in this house.
But yeah, Trump keeps referring to Obamagate in these press conferences, and whenever he's asked what it is Obama has done, his only response is, you know.
Let me see, Obamagate.
I haven't actually done any research into this. I just keep seeing
I'm curious if this is just about what he finally orchestrated a plot to damage the incoming over the past. Oh yeah, so yeah, I think this is about the whatever people feel like Trump or that Obama did treason for, because it says Trump has tweeted and rallied about unproven claims that President Barack Obama in his final days in office orchestrated a plot to damage the incoming president. Yeah, it's apparently about like the FBI surveillance that he allowed to happen. That was never proven, but something happened in the last week that's made it a lot bigger news. And that thing that happened very well could just be, people talking about it in order to get, change the subject of what's happening. Like there might have been nothing new. It's just, you spin that narrative and you go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm anytime Trump starts
Obamagate makes Watergate look small time, he said Monday.
Okay.
Trump pinned an Obamagate tweet to the top of his profile to promote a segment from Fox News. Host Tucker Carlson. Yeah, Trump was trying to entrap Michael Flynn, former national security advisor who pled guilty to lying to the FBI.
You mean not Trump, but Obama?
Obama tried to do that.
Well, Michael Flynn's been set free, even though he admitted to his crimes.
Yeah, that's not Trumpgate or anything. That's just
Trumpgate. Why's everything got to be a gate?
Because of Watergate. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's weird though.
I mean, it's not that weird. It's just like that was the first big one, so therefore everybody has that after it because that's what it's the reminder of that a big scandal. But the biggest presidential scandal is Watergate, and so everything becomes a something gate because it gives it credence that it was to the level of Nixon having to resign.
Right. You did see the Supreme Court was hearing today whether or not the president's above the law.
Oh yeah, what happened to that? I forgot.
I don't know. It was still ongoing last I looked. It may not be decided today.
Yeah, because that's about it. They're gonna return his or return. They're gonna put out his tax returns, right?
Right. But it wasn't just that; it was other things too. But I didn't dive super into it, so I just glanced at the headlines and read briefly what was going on, but it was still ongoing at the time. So who
Yeah, we
knows?
need to. I'm so curious if they're what they're going to come out and say about that because I mean, sadly, it's another decision that is going to like shape the world forever.
Right. Yeah, it started from what I read. It started with Ruth Ginsburg basically saying like, this has already been decided twice, you know, in Nixon versus the U.S. versus Nixon, and it came up again in Whitewater versus Bill Clinton. So like, this is already done. So like, why do you think you even have a case? And Trump's lawyer his response to that was, well, they didn't. They just complied with the orders and they didn't fight it. So we're different because we're fighting.
And the sad thing is, with who people he's got in place, he's probably going to win.
Nah, maybe. Strong no, and then yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is the problem. Is he's got the Supreme Court stacked in his favor.
It's not completely stacked. He's only brought Kavanaugh on so far, right?
No, he's brought on the other person. There was a second, but the person who he's brought on 2 so far.
Has he brought on 2? I didn't realize that.
Now you're gonna make me question myself, but I am pretty sure he was brought on 2.
I guess there was the seat open whenever he took office because
that they wouldn't let Obama fill for over a year.
Right. But for some reason I thought that was Kavanaugh, but was there one before that? Maybe there was.
I thought there was one guy who knew really early in his Donald Trump Supreme Court candidates.
Yeah, you might be right.
The associations. Scalia. He nominated Neil Gorsuch. Yeah, Neil Gorsuch first, and then Kavanaugh.
Okay. Well, I forgot about that completely.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't nearly as controversial.
I mean, it should have been because of the fact that Obama tried to put someone in the seat for so long.
Well, and I think Obama eventually conceded because he realized that it was like, what it looked like. The problem is Trump doesn't give a fuck what it looks like. He's going to put somebody in as a Ruth Bader Ginsburg, however you pronounce her name. Her being in the hospital this last week or whatever, that's some scary shit because if she dies anytime before December, that Trump's putting somebody in immediately.
Yeah. No, they were actually talking about that recently because they brought up the fact, well, wait, what about whenever Obama still had time? And McConnell said that was completely different.
Yeah, of course it was. A year that they wouldn't let him nominate somebody. They blocked his nomination. And I think Obama just eventually conceded that, it wasn't going to happen. And I don't think anybody realized the gravity of, what we were really in.
I think a lot of people did. I remember it was being super big in the news because of the fact that, we knew the future did not look great.
It looked bleak. Is that what you mean?
No one knew how bad things were going to get there. No one could have guessed.
And half the people watching our video still don't think it's bad. They think we're overreacting.
I don't think half people that watch my videos think that.
Oh, you have the people that comment. How's that?
Huh.
Or one person that comments a lot.
Really? I'd run all those people off.
Oh no, I let them comment, but it's funny because sometimes they definitely you can tell.
I mean, I don't stop anyone from commenting. Well, that's not true. But normally not about political stuff. But it's just that.
Oh, I like having the conversation if people can have it rationally. Which I've had a few people that have very rational, thought processes and conversations about it, and I like those comments. But some people also are like, "Oh, you're so against him for no reason. He's the greatest. Obama screwed everything up."
I mean, the truth is, for me, people that think that way, I just don't want them as fans anymore. I'm like Joe Biden. Go vote for someone else. If all my fans leave because they were all too big of Trump supporters, then that's fine. I don't want to live in that world anyways. That's how I view it.
But I mean, Trump supporters can still pay the bills.
I'd rather not pay my bills with Trump money.
I mean, technically, sorry, you throw away your federal taxes.
That's not Trump money.
How about your stimulus check?
That's not Trump money either. Even though people
That's
call
definitely
it Trump.
Trump money. That's definitely Trump money.
How is
he delayed it to sign his name to it.
Yeah, well, mine didn't get any name
You
signed
can't
to
have
it.
more Trump money than that.
The thing is, it's money that you were gonna get.
A $1,200 bill like that he put his face on. I'm surprised that's not what it was.
The thing is, you were gonna get that money regardless of coronavirus. That was a part of a tax stimulus bill that was already gonna happen. Like, you were already gonna get that money. So
I wasn't gonna get it.
Well, yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's not, the money did not come from Trump's bank account. He probably doesn't have enough to pay that much anyways. Doesn't even have $1,200.
We'll never know because they'll never let us tax returns.
Maybe not. You might be right. But we'll see if, I don't know. Anyways, there'll be another episode. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.